Sherio, you're very good at pictures. Just for fun, why don't we go get some pumpkin seed pictures, okay? So watch this. Sherio is basically going to say, hey, you know what? I want to go get some pictures so that I can put it on this particular item. What we're going to do is we're going to eventually add another bucket to our item here, and we're going to put a little photo into the photo bucket. Yep, if you just, there she goes. Basically, you have to find a JPEG image, okay, for the photo bucket to work. Has to be a JPEG image. So she's going to probably say save as. So that's a bitmap right there. Let's actually get a different one.
Yeah.
You can, but you have to have some software that can flip-flop that type of stuff. So for this particular demo right here, so watch this, Sherio. Up at the top, click on images right here in the black for just a minute, and you'll have 50 million different little ones that you can pick and choose from, okay?
Oh, that one right there with the little green ones. Oh, that's pretty.
Shell. Already shelled there.
Yeah.
So that one's a bitmap as well.
Try to just scroll down on one of those and see if it will save it as a...
So do pumpkin seeds and then
JPG, maybe.
JPG,
Yeah.
but a plus sign in JPG, .jpg.
But there,
That's a Google thing.
It's a good
Oh, here's one.
Yeah, well, it's-
There's just...
yeah, that's JPG.
See, you just have to save type, go scroll down on that. It's going to save it as a bitmap no matter what.
yeah.
That's the way it's doing.
So go ahead and click on that
I was going
particular
to
one.
say right here.
Click cancel and go ahead and click through it.
Okay.
So go ahead and click on that physical one right there. Yep. Now do a right click and save that thing. Okay. You can just call it pumpkin for right now or something like that. So one of the things that's kind of cool as far as Adilas is, say for instance you had somebody who's, this is what I would do if I was doing it, okay? I would hire somebody who was like a high schooler or something like that, who works for $5, $7 an hour type thing, and I'd be like, you're really good at a digital camera, why don't you take a picture of these few things, and I'm going to have you assign them like this. So instead of having my admin person who's entering my PO doing this, I would be like, Johnny, come here. Let's talk, and basically let him have the power to load those pictures in, where Sherry is doing more of the different pieces of the puzzle that she needs to do. Go
I
ahead.
was just driving along.
Okay, she basically browsed to the item. Okay, she got to pumpkins. Okay, she actually went right from the PO. There's multiple ways you can get there. She went pumpkin. She looked for her little link at edit photos. She's gonna hit browse. Probably under, did you do under my documents? Is that where it was?
Your desktop.
Second right there. There.
Okay. Now, if you're worried about e-commerce and web stuff, this caption becomes very important because this does show externally on the web. So if you wanted to, you're like, hey, these pumpkins grow really big, you know, like whatever you needed to do. But this does actually show on the web if you want it to. How funny, how funny. So hit add, and as long as it's a JPEG image, what happens behind the scenes is we grab it, we resize it, we attach it to it. We literally just added a new little bucket to this item. It's called the photo bucket, and we put one of them in there, okay? So why don't you switch to your other browser for just a second. Kind of our e-commerce piece. And there's that little piece, and you can actually go into it. Go ahead and go into it, and you'll actually see your little caption as well. These pumpkin seeds grow dynamic, you know, whatever. Like, basically, you're starting to load your external piece. Okay, that's the kind of the customer-facing side of it, if you will. You can also hide some things as well. Like internal, you can have the PO, and it just does what it needs to do. But if you're like, whoa, we don't want to show the pepper seeds yet because we're not ready for that, you could literally hide it as well. Cherio, let's have you switch to the other browser.
One question.
Yes, Santiago.
So this image will also show up on the website since we.
Correct. We currently are looking at the website. See how generic it is right there? Like, there's no other major navigation. There's no quick search. That's external. That's
Okay,
what people can see because we turned some settings on.
and we're not on the secure log.
We are not on the secured. It's under shop right now. So
Yeah.
it's Adilas.biz.
This is what consumers are going to look at when they go to my website.
Correct. So this is what we call the canned version of what they get to look like. If they want something else, that kind of comes back to that API setting where we're like, hey, if you want to skin it and make it look different, great. This is the free version of what we're kind of pushing out there.
Now, question, and this is something that I'm talking about is, if I don't have a website, are we able to link this to kind of a web page, on Facebook?
That's correct. That's correct. So if you have Facebook, basically what you could do is you could say, click here, and then behind the scenes you actually have the address. It's written in the top up there, and literally you could go right to what you wanted from Facebook.
And then have a merchant account on there and be able to sell your products.
Correct. So like there are lots of different ways that you can do it, but basically those are options that you have. Very good question. Thanks, Santiago. Okay,
You guys going to go over that?
we're going to cover e-commerce tomorrow quite a bit on some of those different pieces. What are your questions? We're right
Well,
here.
You know, I'm thinking about just like how this applies to my business.
Mhm.
And, you know, because vendor essentially, I'm purchasing order bottles, but I'm not marking up the bottle. But I want to know like what the price breakdown per bottle is, so it kind of gets, you know, counted in, little, you know, all the
Sure. Absolutely.
buckets.
So yes, absolutely. Buckets are a great way of thinking about it. When you're organizing things, buckets, cups, you're just sticking stuff in there. What you're talking is, instead of saying e-commerce is what are you going to sell?
Well, yeah,
your
I know.
e-commerce.
I'm trying to relate to what you guys are doing right now,
Perfect.
to
So
what I'm doing.
correct. So that's on the PO side. You're pulling in your items and your pieces and your different things like this, okay? If you're actually bottling your own stuff, you may need to go like this. Depending on how you want it to hit on your financials, do I want to just expense those bottles, or do I want to bring them into inventory as a raw bottle, and then I have my stuff that I created, and then I'm going to put them together, and then eventually I want to sell them in a six-pack, okay, or whatever. Like if you wanted to do that, that gets into what I would call an internal build PO. Basically it means like this: grab, mix it up, sell it as something else, okay? That's
Is
called
that
a
done from all these different POs and adding vendors?
Okay, correct. Basically, it is, and can we come back to that?
Yeah.
Like, because what we're trying to do right now is
I don't
load
wanna-
this
yeah.
system into some items. But let's actually, can you flip over to our Word document for just a second, Cherio? Let's see if we can find a spot where we can actually mix and blend some pieces, okay? So mulch lights. Why don't you scroll down for just a second? What I'm looking for is things that we can actually, okay, we have some containers as well that we're going to get, okay? What if we actually did some containers and then we mixed it with some soil and we mixed some seeds and we had these little miniature starts or something that we did, okay? Cherio, can you go right below plants and cucumbers and stuff there? Hit enter. And then right here, what do we want to call this? Like,
Starter kit?
great. Just for fun. Let's call it a starter kit. And then put pumpkin starter kit. Okay? So what we're going to end up doing is once we get all these other pieces into the system, we're going to go grab, we're going to say, I need this many, how many starter kits do we want to make? I want to make 20. I need 20 containers. I need 20 packs of seed, or maybe 1 pack of seed, because I'm just going to put 2 or 3 in each one. So that makes 20 bottles, 1 pack of seeds, and X number of pounds of bulk soil. Okay? We're going to mix it all up together, and all of a sudden we're going to create 20 starter kits. Okay? Great. Perfect. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and, what I would like to do now is we wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of build something. Does anybody have any questions? Do you guys know where you're going if we say build? Santiago.
All right, so I'm over here on the PO homepage.
Okay.
See my vendors.
Okay, Cherio's going to jump there real quick.
Just hit home. Yeah. And you're exactly where I'm at. Now we want to add some more products under greenway products.
Okay, it depends on if it's going to be generic or vendor specific. Okay, does that make sense? How we're distinguishing between those things?
Yeah. So I guess the question is, if you want to break the products that we're all going to enter into groups?
Correct. So let's actually kind of go back to the Word document. What I'd like to do is we've kind of popped through two of them. Scroll back up towards the top of that, Sherio. Okay, stop for a sec. So Shannon did soil, and we put it under Greenway Products, was the vendor, okay? The next one down, the seeds, we actually put it under Acme Seeds, and that's the one that Sherio just barely did, okay, through a PO. Let's come down. Who would like to do fertilizer? Okay, and it was James? Paul? Okay, James, we're going to have you do fertilizer, okay? Now, fertilizer, is it going to be vendor specific, or are we going to, like, does it have to be XYZ fertilizer, or is it just like fertilizer? Okay, so that vendor is going to be the Greenway Products, okay? Back up one from there, Sherry, hit backspace once. Perfect, go Greenway. Okay, so basically here's your scenario. You're going to have Greenway Products, fertilizer is going to be your category, and you're going to do the bat guano and the manure and the NPK. And you can come up with whatever quantities, prices, whatever you want, okay? Okay, let's go to mulch. Who wants to do mulch?
We do mulch.
Okay, great. You guys do mulch. Are you guys doing vendor specific or non-vendor specific?
Well, maybe that comes from a different vendor, so we could add
Okay.
a
Perfect.
mulch
What?
products Inc. or something.
Sure. So you're going to,
Wow.
yeah, you just need to be on the next line
Wow.
down. And hit back it up a little bit. Just, there we go. Perfect. So you're going to be mulch product inks or whatever, and you're going to do the three different ones. Do you have those written down so you kind of know roughly what we're looking at?
Straw sometimes.
Okay, perfect. Who would like to do the lights? Anybody want to do the lights? Shannon.
We'll do
Okay, you want to do lights?
them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And are you guys doing vendor specific, or are you doing? Okay, so you're going to do vendor specific. Do you want us to write it down who it is, or?
Yeah, we're just gonna do everybody's Lush Lighting.
Who?
Lush.
Lush Lighting is the name of the company that they're going to get it from. Awesome. So they're going to be doing lights.
They're also wondering if when you guys speak in class, if you can speak just a little bit louder so they can hear you, the people that are online.
Online? Okay, great.
So.
Better be careful. Santiago will go off the Richter there, off the Richter, okay? So, you guys, are you guys okay to do containers? If we can totally come and help you or whatever, but okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of logged into our.
Oh, through the GoToMeeting? Oh, through your own site. Okay, cool. No problem. Shannon, can we have you take containers?
Definitely.
And you can choose whether you want to do vendor specific or whatever.
Okay.
Awesome. So we have one other piece of the puzzle, plants. Sherio, I'll have you do plants as well, just so we can kind of pop some things through. Does anybody have any questions on what needs to happen? Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of do a light little session. What you're going to see on the screen is Sherio kind of doing her little stuff for plants. These are physically grown plants that we're going to be selling. And then basically what's going to happen is we will kind of cycle through the room, and if anybody needs help or needs stuff, please holler and we can help you out. Okay, let's go ahead and go. And basically we're going to take about 5-10 minutes, see what we can do, and then we'll kind of report back to what's going on. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we just did a huge little, a fun little piece of the puzzle. What we're going to do is I'd like to go, instead of just popping right in and saying, what did you do? I want to show you how it's building and how it's already showing up for roll call, even though multiple people have actually done different things. I'm going to go home. The first place that I'm going to probably go is to my history homepage. Hit go. And all of a sudden, I've got a whole bunch more stuff. I've got 11 POs worth $49,000. Somebody was having fun. Okay. I've got 26 different items. That doesn't necessarily mean quantities. That means physical line items. I can either look at them in generic. Okay. Here's my different little vendors. Here's my physical items. We have everything from root beer to bat guano. This is going to be sweet. This is going to be awesome. Okay?
Root beer in that garden?
Yeah. No. These are snacks. So these guys actually added some snacks. So when you go
good job, guys.
so when you go to checkout, you're going to actually be able to buy some snacks as well. So it's cool stuff. Time card?
Very, very good snacks.
Yes, correct. Awesome. So check this out. We have 7 image items. I have 26 new items. We have all kinds of kind of cool stuff right here. And if we actually wanted to see the individual details, I can actually go down in here and see the different pieces of the puzzle. We have bark and LED 12 and cucumbers and squash and peppers and pumpkins. And you can see that we're starting to add some photos in there and all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to hit back. Once again, I was just doing this whole thing from the history homepage. Here's the new image scans we added just today. Okay, we have a whole bunch of nice ones. Nice, good. Perfect. And we've got the back going on, so we're set. We're set. Awesome. Okay, so basically what I'd like to do, and I handed out a bunch of like plates and cups, we're going to kind of show you how you guys are literally building objects, okay? And these objects are going to eventually kind of play into the whole puzzle. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the PO homepage. So under System Liabilities, I'm going to go PO homepage and go. Okay, so look at this. We started out with hardly anything going on today, not much at all. Okay, so what we want to do here is I can see a couple different names. Whoever was using this main computer was under Brandon, and then Adilas Demo was doing a bunch of other pieces of the puzzle. Okay, so no big deal. Oh, I see a potential problem right here. Immediately, this is the first thing that draws my attention if I look at this. Like, uh-oh, what happened here? And I can tell you right now, there's a $0 on the main, okay? So watch this. If we go to Acme Seeds and I hit Edit, I come in here. Here's my problem right here, $0. And down here, the whole thing totally adds up to 540, okay? So my quantity times my costs eventually add up to $540. How do I fix this? Nick, how do I fix this? Yes.
So what this equals is what we brought into the shop, right? And we have to adjust the cost because obviously it's showing we have 0.
Okay, so technically what happens is when we actually here's where the numbers play a small piece of the puzzle. I'm going to go like this for just a second. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to get just a little smaller. Don't even worry about trying to read this right now. I'm going to get my marker out here for a second, okay? This is my main, my PO main, okay? It currently has an ID number of 3, okay? And it says right now that the value is $0. However, if I do the math on these guys down here, I need to come up with $540. So there's a disconnect between the main container and the line items. So watch this. These guys here, this is where we map to inventory levels. Oh, I have 1,000. Oh, I have 500. Oh, I have 500. Okay? This guy here actually ends up being mapped to how much do I owe this vendor. Currently, it's at $0, so it's kind of showing a disconnect. Okay? So this main amount actually ends up being mapped to the AP, or the accounts payable. Okay? AP, these little values right here end up being to your inventory. And I know that this isn't really the world's greatest thing, but that's where the difference. So what you want to do is you want to just make sure they're correct, because technically if I go right now and say, show me the payables under Acme Seeds, it'll say $0. Okay? So that's why we want to fix that. So I'm just going to erase all that. I'm going to go back up to the normal size. And we're going to say Edit Main. You come right here, I'm going to scroll down and say 540. And say Edit. And now it's super happy. I have printable options. I have verify options, which are kind of more admin type features. And I don't have any disconnects here, so it's flagging you in multiple places.
Will it also work the other way, where if you have 540, but down below you had 600, would it also give you the same that they're now matching?
Correct. So say, for instance, I'm going to change one of these quantities right here. Even though it's not 0, it instantly went right back to check math again, okay? And basically it's saying, hey, you're off by $28 now.
Will it give you a sad face on
It will. So if I go to PO homepage, I'm still sad
Okay.
because this does not match the sum of my line items anymore. So it's going to constantly be out until it's happy. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, cool. you may pass, okay? So great question, great question. I'm just gonna, do we want to keep this at 600 or do we want to flip it back to 500? Okay, I'll just do a quick edit. Now, once again, because I'm currently on the PO line items page, you can see how I have tons of links to edit, go to different places, remove items, lock pieces of the puzzle in case I didn't want somebody else to touch it. If I click edit right here, what it does is it literally takes me to the exact same page that I was just on. Watch this. You can see how it looks like just a form, but I'm going to scroll up. This is where I clicked on right here. Okay, all it did was it loaded. I'm still on the same PO line items page. All it did was it loaded this little guy with the physical numbers and put me into what's called edit mode. So now I just go 500 of the peppers, yes, do it. So what it did is it virtually modified just this line item within this PO. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now if I go to my PO home pages, I don't see, okay,
Uh-oh.
that's okay. Somebody looks like they're playing as well. This is the never-ending story. Okay, so potentially 25,000. Let's go take a look at it. I have no clue what's wrong with this. Okay, 25,000, 25,000. Okay.
Oh, I just cleaned it. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So watch this. So Sherry O just cleaned it. This was not me doing it. If I hit back and I hit refresh on this page, Sherry O just cleaned it up. I didn't do it. Now, how do I know if Sherry O did it versus me doing it?
Check that.
History.
Absolutely. Watch this. History. Who touched this thing? Barney. Okay. Barney Rubble, she's the one who's been doing this whole thing. Remember how we were talking about plates and cups and all the different things? This particular one has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 different little pieces of history starting this morning at 11:43, going clear to 2:27 p.m. as far as who's touched it and what's going on. And what did they actually do? Okay, updated this, I marked this from here to here. It's kind of hopefully speaking a little bit of English to you as far as what's going on.
You could print that as a report also.
You could if you needed to, okay? So imagine that being the surveillance camera that's on the wall, okay? And its whole job is just to kind of say, who touched it? Got it. Who touched it? Got it. If nobody's touching it, or if they're just looking at it, no history is being recorded. It's like window shopping, okay? But if you physically take something or you move it or you remove an item, got it. Got it. Like think of it as a system camera in a way, okay?